So next one's from Garth F. Killing Machine, and the subject is Crazy Man. Well, you three guys have stated many, many times that promoters say stuff to promote their product. I get that, but you think at times Tony Khan takes it too far, just makes himself look silly. Recently, Triple H referred to AEW as a secondary promotion, which it is. So, of course, Tony Khan just had to respond, claiming that AEW is bigger in the UK than WWE, which it isn't. Are AEW doing bigger show in the UK than WWE has? Yes. Did WWE do multiple arena tours around the UK and have their TV shows on multiple TV channels and on-demand streaming service in the UK? Yes. I really don't know what you guys think about Tony Khan's comments, which you find in the link posted above. I'd have to see the comments because I heard this, but basically, just as I said, it's AEW is bigger in the UK than WWE. However, that's kind of like community notes on Twitter or on X would reference this, bro. The WWE TV is on pay TV there. AEW is on free TV. So the AEW numbers are obviously going to be higher on TV than the AEW numbers than the WWE numbers because it's just on a paid network. So that's the difference there. So, you got any comment about this? I got no problem with Tony Khan's comments. Like he's promoting his stuff. What is he supposed to do? He's not supposed to like I said, I have zero issue with Tony Khan promoting his product. My issue is the way the wrestling media kind of has their narrative where they kind of massage AEW and kind of help promote him too, instead of, being more of an adversarial role that, like asking tough, they never ask him tough questions. So, but I have no problem with Tony.
So they can have access to the shows and to the scrums or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're not putting them over, you're not getting in.
Think about this too, bro. Like, imagine all these dirt sheet marks, okay, that get their jollies out of being in that scrum. And if you think about it, bro, what's the scrum? Do you have legitimacy of a journalist if you're in the scrum? Like, why do you need to be in the scrum? Like, if you're reporting, when reporting on wrestling is like talking to people, sources and stuff, like being in a media scrum is like, that's like, who cares? Especially the questions
probably to them it's a big deal because they're like, okay, I'm going to a big wrestling show. Fans want to hear what the wrestlers say, and I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to get hits. So they're looking at it as money, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's some that are just marking out to be there, but some are monetizing it.
Bro, even the main ones. They'll be like, I think like.
Bro, can you believe that Billy Body wanted to be our representative, and I had to tell him no, like various times.
Right, like he was completely oblivious.
And then when he saw that didn't work, he was like, well, what if I bring my son and he asked a question? I go, no, bro, absolutely not.
It's like you've been burying these people, like,
and that has
personally and stuff. It's like,
he's got a lot of heat with the boys,
Right.
I don't know one guy that after I got rid of him, and even before I got rid of him, any wrestler that had, or any guy that was in the business, all of it was like, why are you working with that scumbag? I can't believe you really, this guy is really going to hurt you. And I was like, I don't give a, and yeah.
Yeah. And that has nothing to do with journalism or this show. That's just Billy really wants to be in and around wrestling,
I don't even know why.
And that's okay because
which is weird. I don't know why.
Imagine this. You're paying to come from England all the way to the United States various times a year to watch wrestling. Okay, bro. I know you're a big Guns Rose fan. Would you travel to England to see them?
No.
Twice a year?
Nope. If they come by me, cool. Like, I'm going this weekend, but other than that, no.
All right. Next is from Danny Smith, and the subject is K-Dog's Flowers and Disco ruining my AEW viewing experience. What's up, K100 crew? Long-time listener, however, first-time emailing, and most likely will be the last. So I'll get my right now. Conan. I grew up watching WWF, but I was turning 18 around the inception of the NWO and Hogan's heel run. Reinvigorate my love and interest as it pertains to the Shakespeare side of the business. I must give you your flowers now and help inform these Gen Zers of how ridiculously loud the crowd popped and shouted along your introduction catchphrase of Oidale, Viva la Raza. It no doubt rivaled any saying or catchphrase repeated by a wrestling crowd ever. So yeah, Conan is as legit as it gets when it comes to being over. And Disco, you always provided me with entertainment, hamming up spots, breaking the monotony mid-match, going full John Travolta, which always popped me and the boys. I always had respect for you simply due to your other current employment ventures, which brings to my point. is wrong with you publicly bringing attention to the size and style of Skye Blue's wrestling bottoms? Even if the show, even if the show sucked, which is usually the case, I could always count on Skye Blue marching her fine out to the ring and giving us a show that other women wrestlers of this generation are too feministically proud to give in fear of only being viewed as eye candy. It's actually a very good line. Now her is fully covered, and there's an inch and a half of fabric where none used to be. So now I can't be an old perverted wrestling fan, and this poor girl got self-conscious and took away the goods. All because you couldn't shut your Kermit.
Jeez.
Just because you can gawk at all day doesn't mean we can, and your takes shouldn't prevent the rest of us from doing so either. Man, if it popped out at the pool, you'd be the first to run over the towel to cover it up, wouldn't you? You've ruined the only reason myself and hundreds of thousands of other perverts tune into AEW. Thanks.
Jeez.
That's from Detroit Danny. So Danny's upset that I brought up the fact that Skye Blue is hanging out of her trunk. I mean, she's the one wearing the. She's the one that's elected to wear that stuff, and I just
he's complaining. He's complaining that
she doesn't do it anymore, right?
Yes, she has since gotten trunks that cover more of her posterior.
And he's blaming me, right?
Yeah, because we talked about it. Yeah,
is that why she did it? Maybe.
No, I don't know.
I'd like to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because honestly, it's like there's nothing wrong with it. She's over.
Nothing wrong with a little
She's
cheek.
over because of it. Like, It's like it's one of the symptoms. Cody, what's your take on this? This guy's angry at me for bringing up the fact that Skye Blue's is hanging out, and that she doesn't anymore. Now she wears trunks to cover it up. Do you think that I'm to blame for this?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think she would. I don't think because you said anything, she would cover it up. Maybe she saw it on TV and said, "Oh my." She has a little bit. Well, I'm not going to say anything.
Bro, come on. There's a reason that she wore it in the first place because it's over. Just wrong for that crowd. That crowd is like you like that. The people in that audience look like they'd be. Right. So next is from Brendan Edwards. Is up his bash.
The only way a lot of them are going to get laid is crawling up a chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So next one's from Brendan Edwards, and the subject is Bash at the Beach 2000. My name is Brendan, and this question for Disco. You're at the WCW and Bash at the Beach 2000 happened. The Dark Side of the Ring documentary was just released Tuesday. Even though you had no matches at pay-per-view or anything like that, could you talk about what the tension may have been like around the building, if at all, during or after that, he may have seen or experienced being backstage? Russo said on YouTube he's done talking about it after his Q&A, but just curious if you could, and I didn't get to ask him during his live stream the day after. Thank you if you do answer this. I was in the booking committee. I was backstage, and bro, Vince was not keeping us in the loop. The only people that knew what was going on was Jeff and Vince and Booker and Eric.
Let me tell you nobody
knew what was going on.
But let me tell you a very weird story that I think I've told you, but you forgot. I was backstage that day. Okay. And Russo came up to me personally. So here's my question. Let me ask you this. Before they went into the ring and they did what they did, right? Did Russo already know it was a work, or did he already know he was going to shoot? Okay.
No, they knew that they're there.
Okay, so he came up to me before the match, or maybe a couple matches before it happened, and this is exactly what he told me. He goes, "Hey, you're going to see something tonight, and I just want to know that I had to do it. I had to do it, so don't freak out if you see it." So why would he tell me that, do you think?
Because he was having to go and cut the promo. He was going to go in the ring and cut the promo on Hogan. That's what he,
but was he working me or no?
No, I don't think.
I don't think so.
I think because he had to. Hogan was using his creative control. Right. And Vince, I have to do this because he was, bro. The thing about that thing was Vince was for the locker room.
Right.
Like Vince was on the side of the locker room in this, and Vince.
Yeah, I know that. There's no doubt in my mind on that.
This whole thing stemmed from, and the whole
point he was pushing the young guys in that young blood or whatever versus the millionaires. Remember,
we're going to make Booker T the champion. He deserved it. Was his time, and that's why it was like I had to. We all agreed that it was Booker's time, and he has to do this because Booker needs to be the whole point of this was to get around to get make Booker the champion. So
So
that's
did Hogan not want him? Did Hogan not want Booker to be the champion, or what was the
I don't
problem
know.
there?
I don't know the
I don't know.
conversations. I don't know.
From
I
what
don't know. Go ahead.
from
No,
what
I
I've
just thought
read,
because you were very close to Russo back then.
I
And I would
was,
have
but
think he would have told you.
he was keeping me out of the loop on this stuff.
Yeah.
It was private conversation with him and Hogan.
from
So
what
whatever.
I've read all along, it was like the agreement was for what happened in the match where Hogan wins with the foot. He takes the belt and leaves, and Vince comes out and says, we're gone. And then Hulk comes back in a few months to fight whoever the champion is to unify the belts, whatever. But the promo that Russo cut the second time, where he came out and said, "You're a bald old," and all this stuff, and talked about Hogan politicking, that wasn't a part of the plan. That's where Vince deviated from the script or whatever agreement he had with Eric and Hulk.
Right. Yeah.
So Vince knew that the match was going to be funky, but I think he might have been telling you about his promo when he was going out.
Yeah. Right. Because it's kind of
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Because he had to break you're breaking the wall. You're actually shooting on TV, about something that's real instead of like it's not a work.
You got sued.
You're shooting on TV. So it's like
that's what convinced a lot of fans that were like, no way. And then it was like,
but
there's an actual lawsuit filed,
the reason, because I watched that episode and I didn't even know this until I watched the episode. The reason that Vince won is because he's a fictitious character cutting a promo on a fictitious character,
right?
Which is Hulk Hogan, not Terry Bollea.
Right.
Yeah.
The next is from Danger Ross. Somebody says MJF is the smartest man alive. Hello, gentlemen. Hope I find you all in great health, even you, Joe. Although you did kind of diss my city of Des Moines. Just kidding, Joe, but not really. Anyway, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. My brothers and I specifically love disco. We would all dance and sing the song during his entrance. I remember the first time I saw Conan, it left me so bewildered and amazed. He would do these close lines where he would roll then do the clothesline, and that just wowed me. I have a lot of respect for what you guys went through to just give me some kid with no friends something to look forward to on a Monday. I'm actually named after Adrian Adonis, as my dad was watching pro wrestling as I was being born, and named me after the winner of the match. I had this theory that MJF is actually manipulating Roderick Strong. I feel that he's so smart because he's figured out a way to Hulk Hogan the situation where he comes out squeaky clean, and I'm almost sure Strong will be the one to cost Cole the title in some way. What do you guys think about this theory, and what are your thoughts on the storyline as a whole so far? At first, I was really kind of sick of Adam Cole, but the episodic storytelling has really drawn me in. I'll give you both flowers now because I really feel like AEW finally listened to you. P.S. The reason I love you guys and no other podcasters such as Sean Ross Sapp is if they always break the number one rule of journalism and become part of the story, furthermore, they try to control what kind of wrestling is considered good, affecting what I personally enjoy. So, all right. No, I like the MJF Adam Cole story. I don't even really know exactly what the question is here. Did he have a question? What are your thoughts on the storyline as a whole so far? I like it, of course. If you listen to our reviews of the show, we've been very complimentary of it. It's episodic storytelling. I'm not sure they should have culminated in them having a match where they're friends. I mean, it's kind of weird, I mean, like there's no heat, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm interested to see what happens next. What about you, Conan?
Yeah, I just think that at the beginning I thought, all right, MJ's going to revert to being a heel, but he's so over. Why would we revert him? And I just think Cole and Strong are going to jump on him. But I could also see Cole interfering. I could also see Strong interfering in the match. So there's a lot of ways you could go, and I like it because I want to see where they go with this.